Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. Now, I've mentioned many times that their narrative doesn't make sense. They want you to believe things that aren't true. They want you to believe that somebody who was in college, who had his legal and peaceful top martial arts challenge at the same time, magically was supposedly crazy. That's preposterous. You see my early videos, I'm very stressed out looking, partly because I was going to college at the same time, working out to a large degree, and I was making videos and doing a lot of research about things that make you angry, and I'm being shunned by females and, on the dating sites and so on and so forth. So I'm doing a lot at the same time, and I was doing, some stuff for the job that I was doing too. So I had a lot going on. I was very active. Okay. I'm still very active now. So when we go back to 2009 and we look at what was taking place, we look at the titles of the videos, we could see that first video, Illuminati Part 1, with everything considered, it was very insightful, very well made. It showed a higher sense of, truth, a higher sense of duty. It showed martial art principles even before I went back to doing martial arts to a large degree, which was like in 2010. So we see in 2010 in the Illuminati videos, we see 2011 and 12, these are fact-based presentations. I'm touching on things that other people don't, like gangs and how they relate to Illuminati before anyone else is talking about this stuff. Basically, it was just hardly touched on by other people. And so you can see that I'm becoming more and more every day at that time as the main person talking about the great conspiracy, who is believable, honest, trustworthy, what have you. And I wasn't getting that many views, but I had, some views. Like the first Illuminati video, at one point had like 9,000 views or something. I think the repost had like 4,000 and what have you. And one of them is reposted to this day, and there's like, 4,000 or 5,000 views on that right now. So I make some early playlists, and they don't do so well. Okay, except for the psychiatry playlist. I mean, the Illuminati playlist was a good one. Psychiatry playlist was a good one. Psychiatry is a fraud. I think I had 67 parts, and some of them got lost in transit or something to that effect. Some of the early rap songs weren't that good. I was still kind of getting used to things. They're all freestyles, basically. And, I was using the web camera to record, and I was just playing a beat on the computer or something. So, I was also trying to, freestyle. So I had a lot going on, and I was kind of experimenting. I knew over time I was going to get better at it, and that was the idea. I was going to get better at martial arts, at rapping, at researching and making videos. And that's when you see the interference start to occur, right? In 2011, they made a dramatic move to interfere after years of covertly drugging me. In 2012, after I made so many videos that made sense, okay, they were so logical. And there's a lot of videos that they edited to make it so I look really weird in those videos. In 2012, I made some of my best music, which they've edited since then. It was The Temple, 'Cause I'm Heru, what have you. Then, there's some incidents that occur that cause me to have a lot of hardship. I don't want to really elaborate that on this video. I've talked about it before, and it really has to do with the state cracking down on me. And what happens next was, after that period passes, you see the videos seem to look a lot better because the state is trying to take credit for the changes that occur. They're trying to make it seem like I need their intervention or something, and so they kind of manipulate those videos after that. And, they're trying to create the kind of illusion that magically I supposedly magically need their frickin', devil help. Okay, again, it's not to insult anybody. I have to say it this way so they don't take it out of context. All right, I'm going way out of my way to not break the rules on TikTok. So let me just shoot through this here. So by the time we get to 2014, I attend a protest, and I actually have my picture in the background of the protest is in the news. You can hardly see me, but I'm there, and I show you I'm wearing the same sweater. This is very specific 5XL Pro Club sweater that I sewn, in a little Africa patch on. Okay, So I'm quoting a scripture like Matthew 5:5 in 2014. And I talk about how, one title is My Struggle to Give You Truth Being Hacked and Silenced. Okay. Another one is Rape is About Unfulfilled Sexual Desire, Not Power. And I'm really speaking, factually about issues that people don't want to really talk about. And that one's a big one, right? So what was happening at the time? Okay, so initially that's what it's about, and everyone kind of knows it. But as they kind of start drugging people and start messing them up, we see, some of these rapes are just people having lost their minds from being drugged covertly with heterosexual desire reducing drugs and technologies. Believe it or not, that's what's going on here. And we see that with the feminist quotes. It's one like a professor from Melbourne or something. She says that white supremacy and feminism is going to be achieved partially from, the abolition of heterosexual desire. So long story short, why she says that, the core of Western culture is basically a bunch of LGBT people and their allies. It's a long story why that is. Look up Zeus and Ganymedes, shed a lot of light on it. Okay. Other videos like fascism and Zionist fascism versus multiculturalism. Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff about eugenics there. I give my opinion about the Santa Clara County Sheriff Department. The history of Europe proves ancient Egyptians are black. And I apologize on behalf of, the Ferguson rioters. At some point it's in the title. So it wasn't something I did. I apologize on their behalf for how some white people were being treated for trying to help them protest or whatever. I don't remember what that exactly was about. But there's a lot of stuff here you can tell that I'm talking sense, like I'm talking sense right now. And in 2014, came outside. There's a little wind here, so excuse the background noise. Okay, so there's eugenics, psychiatry, big pharma. I talk about the connections with the governing class. Okay. I cover some stuff in the news. I talk about, I use some sources about occult science and so on and so forth. I talk about the MGTOW movement, etc. Okay, so why am I making this video? Well, it's to make this video to show you that there's nothing wrong with me. We can trace the timeline to the start because their main kind of angle they're playing is an angle that doesn't make sense. Okay, they're trying to pretend that magically, they gaslight people like, they like to pretend black people are crazy. Like Tupac said, right? Call me a madman because I'm strong and bold with knowledge of the lies you told, etc., etc. This is something they've done all throughout history. Just like racism's still there, the tactics of the racists, especially institutional racism and so on, is still there. Okay? I mean, COINTELPRO, a lot of it was about preventing the rise of a black messiah. They know that people kind of naturally revere black people, Martin Luther King, Michael Jordan. The idea that Black Panther is based on really me. And they know that my father came here penniless, worked his way up, became a brain surgeon. They know that they can't kind of show black people up because it's been out there for a long time that black people have to work harder to get the same job. They planted a bunch of token minorities that they're trying to get people to look up to and people related to them from their crypto lines and so on and so forth. Okay. So you look at my arguments, they make sense. Changing my voice or not. So you say, okay, what about these? You have maybe 3,000 plus videos of the 15,000 looking bad because they edited them, because they fumed and poisoned me, and I have 23 witnesses on record. Their counter argument is like nothing. When it comes to the witness, they never speak on it. Someone I think one time tried to question me on it. I gave them a link to it. I reposted a audio clip from one of the witnesses' statements, and they tail tucked. They just left because they had nothing. Okay, because 23 witnesses speaks for itself. And so when we look at this, we look at what I'm saying consistently. My message is consistent. What I'm quoting here is like 10 years ago, and I'm still talking about eugenics. I'm still talking about, how they try to stifle dissent. I'm still talking about females shunning me, right? It says, can women be like a man? Feminism, the lies, one of the titles. Okay. Proof of feminist Illuminati origins and secret societies, right? You see, this was before the witch movements were so popular with all these fingernails, these females with fingernails and stuff. This is before that. Okay. I was way ahead of my time, so to speak, right? In some ways, but I'm right on time because I'm the Messiah. And so we see facts and facts. I have thousands and thousands of sources cited in my videos. So a lot of times I posted pictures of articles, Okay, just well researched, right? This is 15 years of not just posting videos, but research, and doing research while I'm in college, doing research for my homework assignments. Okay, just research, 15 years. As somebody, and at one point in 2013, which is the year before these videos, the titles that I've been reading off in 2014, that's when I made my Legal and Peaceful Top Martial Arts Challenge, which is still going. And I have a video from about 7 years ago or so, where I say, hey, you're disgracing, I have a suit on and so on and so forth. I'm saying you're disgracing your families if you don't give me my rightful place. I've proven it with my Legal and Peaceful Top Martial Arts Challenge. Okay? And so we see definitively that I've been saying things in a way that the cocky people who are into martial arts, who are in this deep state, couldn't possibly resist trying to disprove if they could. And I say things like they all put their heads together and they couldn't beat me. Okay, so I go on and on about these things. One of the most important facts about my challenge, my Legal and Peaceful Top Martial Arts Challenge, is that I go on and on about it. I comment on countless videos. I comment on Facebook in the groups there. I post it on my Facebook pages. I have many channels talking about this. I talk about it on TikTok. I go on and on about this. And so it's laughable to think that they wouldn't take that as a valid proof. So here I am, the namesake of the most moral brain surgeon ever lived, who's also a humanitarian, okay, with an award and everything. And I make this Legal and Peaceful Top Martial Arts Challenge, and I use facts and logic to definitively prove that I'm Jesus, and I challenge them to a debate, all their tails tucked. There's been maybe 100 people who have tried to disagree with me about various things in regards to being Jesus or my interpretation of the Bible that is very close to that argument. None of them, not a single one of them, wants to have some kind of video debate with me, right? They don't want to do that. And the ones in the comments, I blew them out the water. I've made videos about the comment exchanges, just completely won, hands down. There's no other way to look at it. Okay? It's pretty straightforward here. What's going on here? My arguments make sense. They're rational. They're logical. They show a higher level of reasoning, a higher logic. They show deductive reasoning at its best. They show critical thinking at its best. And the opposition view just relies on gaslighting and trolling and what's called mobbing, getting a bunch of people together, spewing nonsense. Okay, I'm standing 10 toes down, manning up. It's like a bunch of Romans mocking Jesus as a character in the story on the cross. They think that they mock him together, that they win? No. The one manning up wins. The one manning up who's from above is above all. Those who resort to gaslighting and mocking, their spirits, have they not been trampled? Now, I don't want to break the rules on TikTok, so I ask you all, instead of making it a statement, have their spirits been trampled or have they not been trampled? No offense to anybody, it's an honest question, we'll say. Thank you.